Hey everybody, this is Baka D Bryan. Welcome to my video that theorizes Marco's connection to the kingdom, meaning specifically to the butterfly family. In the Star versus the Force of Evil community, it's basically been accepted that Marco is part Mewni. The biggest evidence to this is in episode 12 of season 3 Deep Dive, which shows Marco has the potential to develop cheek marks if he is exposed to more magic like most Mewnis. I would like to take this theory a little bit further and state that Marco is actually a butterfly and is a descendant of Justine the Uncalculated. The things that point me to this direction are that Justine and Marco are pretty similar. They are both the only males to be shown in the show or in show related material to have cheek marks. In addition to that, their cheek marks are similar to other butterfly family members. Marco has similar cheek marks to Selena the Shy, and Justine has similar cheek marks to his great niece Meteora. Another thing they have in common is that they have great relationship with royalty. In the Book of Spells, it was shown that Justine had many different friends from different kingdoms and was essential in helping his sister Solaria in diplomatic missions by being an ambassador to the Cloud Kingdom and Underworld when they needed extra reinforcements. In a similar sense, Marco is the best friend of Tom Lucifer, the prince of the underworld, and has a friendly relationship with Princess Ponyhead, the princess of the Cloud Kingdom. In addition to that, he has many connections with many princesses from St. Noga, who look up to him as a symbol of freedom and rebellion. The question I have is what happened to Justine? In the Book of Spells, it talked about him marrying a duchess of the Spider-Bite Kingdom, but nothing else. Wouldn't he be mentioned more than just once in his niece's chapter, or wouldn't his child or children or descendants be talked about because he is a butterfly? You'd think if he was a Mewni, he would have been there to protect his niece and her daughter from the conspiracy that King Sassafras and the Magical High Commission did to cover up Eclipse's affair with Glaugord. I have more thoughts on this, but I'll save it for a future video. But in general, I believe he went to Earth and started a family there. And going down the generations, it leads to Marco and his mother Angie. I believe it's Angie because in the show, especially in the butterfly family, your royalty status comes from your mother. The next evidence I would like to talk about is Eclipse. Eclipse has some kind of bib or bonnet on herself that shows a crescent moon. This could probably be a clue that Marco and Eclipse have a family connection. Additionally, Marco has been treating Eclipse like an aunt because he has been talking to her about his feelings towards Star in the recent season 4. One of the final 2 points I would like to make are the parallels between Marco and Moon. In episode 2 of season 4, Escape from the Pie Folk, it was shown that both Moon's and Star's ancestor, Livio, was a Pie Folk, and which explains why Moon ended up on the island of Pie Folk. This is similar to Marco in episode 7 of season 3, Sophomore Slum. After returning from uni, Marco was having trouble adjusting back to everyday Earth life. He felt like he didn't belong on Earth anymore, but belonged on Mewni, as in someone in his family was from Mewni and it was drawing his family back there. I think that supports this is Angie. In the same episode, she talked about a time in her life where she felt like she didn't belong in the place she lived. This shows that something in their family blood is telling them they don't belong somewhere and they need to be somewhere else. The final point I would like to make is the thing that been bugging me since the beginning of the series. Why did Star end up at the Dia's house as the transfer student? And what I mean by that is not the whole burning down the forest or village. Why specifically the Dia's house itself? The Kingdom Mewni was basically trusting their only princess, the next person in line to rule the throne, to basic strangers. They were not strangers. They were people who were descendants of a person from the original butterfly family, Justine's descendants. Well, that's all for the video now. Do you think I'm right, wrong? Comment down below. Like the video if you think it's good. We're trying to get this out before the coronation because I think that's when it could probably be revealed. Yeah, I'll be coming out with the video on why Justin left Mewni as soon as possible, and one more video, hopefully before the show ends. But like always, be free, do your own style, and peace out.